Hello and welcome to the WildWestGamer with part 3 of the Greek Geek Weekend. Today I'm doing another film review as part of it, and it is going to be For 300, one of my favourite films of all time, the 2007 film by Zack Snyder. Based on Frank Miller's graphic novel. Almost a shot-for-shot match between the film and the graphic novels. It is really cool because it is essentially the filmic version of the graphic novel, the counterpart, if you will. And it's fantastic. As far as films go, it's a really good film. It's not one of the best films ever made, but it is very good, and it stands out as being a film which shows that graphic novels really can be done, really can be transplanted, one for one, into film, and not have to, they don't have to compromise anything in order to do it successfully. It really makes me wonder why a lot of more comic book films don't try to copy perhaps a certain story page for page. I appreciate that perhaps not everyone wants to see something that's already been done before, but really, if you do it with enough flair, enough creativity, you really can bring something interesting to the table. And this film, as well as Sin City, really prove that, really show you can do it almost exactly match for match, and really give people what they want. That's my opinion on it. I think that a lot of superhero films nowadays based on comics. When they say based, it's very loosely termed. Based can be very, very generic. You think now a lot of films just go, screw it, we'll just add our own stuff in. Now that's fair enough, but I think a lot of people would like to see the characters they remember from the actual comics. I'd love to see an actual live action version of The Dark Knight Returns, just because I know that done in the hands of someone very capable would be awesome. It would be fantastic. It would be so cool to see. There's nothing wrong with the Batman films we have at the moment, the Christopher Nolan ones. The thing is, though, that they don't necessarily transplant with another actual comic book full stop. So if you try telling someone, hey, you like that film, go check out these, they go, yeah, but I'd like to see the bit that happens there. And you go, yeah, but that's based on perhaps a bit from this one, that's based on a bit from this one. And those two Jokers are very different, actually, in the way in their concept, in the concept of how each Joker is with regard to the comic they're in. Because you can show someone a Joker from the golden era of DC Comics, you can show it from like a Joker from the version of like Infinite Crisis or something like that. They're basically two different characters. They really are. The characters change a lot, and that's regard to all comic books. So with 300, you really get a film which is exactly like the graphic novel, and that's really cool. Really cool. I'm happy to see that. It is a really cool film. Zack Snyder really did pull something off with this film, and it's one of those films which I would. If someone said to me, why do you reckon Man of Steel is going to be good? Well, I say, well, Zack Snyder did 300. People go, oh, right, okay, cool. I see what you mean. It seriously is a really, really good film to watch. As far as it goes, it's got a bit of everything, really has. It's got action for those who just love, blood and guts and people having their limbs cut off. It's got romance. It's got humor, and it's got a little bit of light horror to it. There's some Gribblies there who are they're quite monstrous in a way, and there's certainly some pretty disturbing stuff on display. So yeah, that is really why the film is quite good, because there's a bit of everything for someone. The film follows King Leonidas and his 300 in their battle against the god king Xerxes and his Persian horde. Essentially, it's a numberless horde that is seeking to take over the world. Leonidas knows that it is them that that it is his 300 who he can take to Thermopylae to halt them, basically to stop them, while the rest of Greece unites and builds its forces in order to launch a decisive attack against them. He knows he has to hold them at Thermopylae, and if he doesn't, like I said, Greece will burn, and then the rest of the world. And you think a story like that would be quite cut and paste, quite simplistic, and that'd be that. Well, it's not, because what you've got is a lot of different storylines. One of them is King Leonidas' story with his 300. As they, as the men bond as the men bond and go about their daily business, and on their way to the battle, as they discover some of the carnage left by the Persian army. Likewise, there's also the story of Queen Gorgo, played by Lena Headey, who is Leonidas' wife, as she attempts to persuade the Spartan Senate to allow for war, to muster the rest of the Spartan army, because the Leonidas has been told that he cannot wage all-out war because of the Carnae, which is a sacred time of the calendar for the Spartans, and they cannot launch war. So Leonidas gets around that by saying he's taking 300 men as his bodyguard for a walk, which is a way to get around the first, sort of at least getting someone out there to halt the Persian army. But it's not it's not an army meant to defeat. It's just an army meant to defend and stall and hold. And the Spartan culture is very one of little compassion, and it's one of strength, little emotion. Sorry, not lack of compassion, lack of emotion. It's about strength. It's about sort of steely stoicism. It's about, yes, we know we love each other. We don't have to say we love each other, sort of thing like that. Lena Headey's character, Queen Gorgo, she wants her husband to return. She loves him. And the way she can, display that is by, aiding him back at home. And this film does a really good job of showing, a strong female character who doesn't display her strength by, resorting to masculine, notions like fighting. Instead, she does it, through politics, through strength of character, through intelligence. She knows that the only way to help her husband is to, persuade the Senate to put forth an intelligent and decisive argument that Persia will just burn the world. They will take over everything and they will enslave the world. They need to act now. The Spartan army is easily strong enough to defeat it if only they were to muster and march to King Leonidas' aid. Well, without spoiling too much, let's just say certain people within the Senate aren't too keen on that idea. They may have alternate ideas, etc., etc. But when that aside, what keeps you going is the battles. That is one of the creme de la creme of the film, and they are awesome. They are so friggin' awesome. You have got some of the coolest slow motion ever. I mean, you've got panoramic slow-mo limb chopping. You've got monsters. You've got like zombie ninjas. You've got a bit of everything. You really do. This film really, really keeps you enthralled because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's a real payoff. Because every time something happens, there's always a one-liner, or there's always a really definitive scene which makes you go, that was frigging cool. Or there's a payoff, an emotional payoff. You see a new side to the Spartans. You see them perhaps question their own cultural beliefs. About how they operate. And it's things like that. Go, well, this film isn't just a dumb brawler. There is the heart to it. There is a mind to it. And that's really cool. And it really shows people also, because it's so closely based on the graphic novel, that graphic novels aren't just for geeky guys. They are for everyone. They have a bit of relevance to us all, and that's again a really nice touch. The music is awesome. There's great rock. There's some really great sort of heavy rock in there, as well as a nice mix of sort of this Mediterranean, Middle Eastern sort of tunes put in there, mixed together, and it really comes together to give this film a really sort of beautiful, as well as eerie soundtrack. And it's good. It's really good because what you get is you because the film is essentially a clash of cultures. You've got this god king who considers himself, the reason why his army, why the world should exist, to serve him. And then you've got the Spartan army where every man serves the other man. They're all there to defend and fight for each other as well as their home. It's a very selfless army versus a very selfish army. And it's really cool. It's a really, really good film. And there's some brilliant one-liners, some brilliant quips in it. It's a bit where King Xerxes says to King Leonidas, he's like, your women will be slaves. He's like, clearly you've never met our women, and stuff like that. Just little things like that. He's like, you'll bow to me, Leonidas. He's like, well, I would, but I've a bit of a crick in my knee, so it's, that's not going to be something I can do very easily. It's just stuff like that. This guy's looking at overwhelming odds. He's looking at eventual death, and still he's got a smile on his face. You go, badass. That's cool. But so yeah, the characters are all really likable. Because they're Greek, I don't remember necessarily all of the names, but needless to say, I certainly remember my standout performances, my favourite characters, and it is something you'll love to watch. It's something for teenage boys; they're going to love it for the action. It's kind of a date night movie as well. It's for hardcore graphic novel fans. It's a film, and for people who are looking for reasons why they should get excited about the Man of Steel film done by Zack Snyder. Yeah, check this out. Check Watchmen out. Check Sucker Punch out. Now, Sucker Punch, I'm going to quickly go into Sucker Punch because Sucker Punch is a film that people sort of breeze over and don't really give it time of day. You should like Sucker Punch, seriously. Anyone who likes Zack Snyder's work or just like these sorts of films really should check out Sucker Punch. It's unique and it is really underpraised. It seriously is. In fact, I'm probably gonna check it out. Recheck it out, sorry, and because I quite like it, not just for Emily Browning or any of the other really beautiful women in it, but just because it's a really cool film, and I'll do a review of it because I think that deserves a review. But it is a really good film with a really unique twist on it, and I'm not going to ruin it now. I'll ruin it later. But like I say, it's a really good film. So this, along with those other pieces of work Zack Snyder's done, definitely deserve to be praised. And this is a guy who I'm really trying to think of a bad film he's done. Zack Snyder's got a really good repertoire of really unique and ace films. This is why you should check out 300. If you liked Watchmen, check this out. If you like Sucker Punch, check this out. If you're looking forward to Superman, Man of Steel, check this out. Seriously, really good film. Unique in its cinematic style, unique in its presentation, its interpretation of the source material, in the way that it's essentially a one-for-one copy. But you're going to love it. You really are. And hopefully it gets you also interested in looking at the graphic novel, because I, of course, looked at the graphic novel immediately after seeing this film. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't read it before I saw this film. I read it afterwards, and it is really good. Apart from the old leather undercrackers that they all wear, which they didn't wear in the old graphic novel, really everything is still it's the same. And I'm quite glad that they're wearing undercrackers. Actually, I'm a man who likes his action films, but there's a certain amount of manliness in action films that I don't want to be seeing, and it's the one that's swinging around in front of my face. So, without any further ado, 300 gets a recommendation from me. It's a fan favorite. It's a personal favorite, and you're really going to enjoy it actually if you check it out. Like I say, it's a date night movie. It really is. You wouldn't think it, but it is. Trust me. So yeah, get it, rent it, buy it, do what you have to, but certainly check it out. And yeah, guys, once again, thank you for watching. It always means a lot. Comment, like, review, opinions, subscribe, all that jargon, all that jazz. It really means a lot if you guys do, because it means that I can start, making more tailored films, what you guys like to tailored videos, what you guys like to see. Also, I'd love to be able to do a video where I'm answering your questions. So please answer questions, ask questions, make suggestions and all sort of lovely stuff like that. So thank you guys, thank you for watching, and yeah, I will see you when I see you with another hopefully video review. So yeah, see you later guys, thank you very much for watching, and peace out. Peace.